Speaker Among was welcomed by the Minister for General Duties in the Office of the Prime Minister, who is also the Minister in charge of SDGs, Kasule Lumumba, and the UN Resident Coordinator, Susan Namondo. In her speech, Anita Among urged the stakeholders to ensure that there is timely, credible information for communities that are lagging behind when it comes to the development.
It is critical that the implementation is properly funded and that the funding is targeted at ensuring that efforts reach the most marginalized and vulnerable people down there in the local villages and local areas.
In her keynote address, the Speaker also spoke of the role of Parliament in the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals before assuring stakeholders of Parliament's commitment to oversee and ensure accountability for the efficient and effective delivery of expenditures, laws and programs which have a direct impact on the people.
Members of Parliament are uniquely positioned to act as an interface between the people and the state institutions, so as to promote and adopt a people-centered policies and legislation to ensure no one is left behind.
In his speech, the Chief Justice Alphonse Owinidolo spoke out against corruption, which he says has limited the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals.
So until we fight corruption as a people, until we stop glorifying the corrupt person, in this country, when you are corrupt, you even glorify it. You can even be considered a hero. You get corrupt money, you go and throw in society, making contribution for this or that. People say, yes, our man, our son.
According to the Chief Justice, Uganda still has a long way to go in implementing the Sustainable Development Goals, especially SDG number 16.
Until the executive appropriately budgets for the judiciary and Parliament puts its feet down and appropriate sufficient funds for the judiciary, we would remain wishing. And we think we now need to shift from wishing into implementation.
Meanwhile, the minister in charge of implementing the SDGs, Kasule Lumumba, reiterated the need for government to continue advocating for implementation of the SDGs.
You to give us the teams to keep working with in your offices, in your institutions. Then we have discussions with you as heads of those institutions, and before we go to make reports, whether in cabinet or in the UN Assembly.
The SDGs were set up in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly. There are 17 interlinked global goals which talk about gender equality, poverty eradication, quality education, among others. All these are supposed to be achieved by the year 2030. Ramson Mihire, CTV PM Edition.